Yo, what is going on? Thank you so much for tuning into this video. My name is Ryan, aka RP, and today we're going to be talking about a new Switch game called Haven. And honestly, in my opinion, I think this is a game that a lot of people are actually going to really love. And I also think at the same time, there's going to be a lot of people that really don't like this game. I do feel like it's unique in a lot of different aspects. So we're going to be diving into why I think that is, and whether or not this game might be worth picking up at full price, or if you're watching this later on, when this game is on sale. So let's get into it. So Haven follows the story of you and Kay, and basically their adventure on this planet you're on called the Source. And basically as the game progresses, you are figuring out the story through the dialogue and the different sort of events and things that you come upon as you travel through the different islets on this planet. Now, one thing I'll say is that I do feel like they do a really good job balancing both the dialogue and sort of the exploring and battles that you have with the different, animals or creatures that you find on the different islets as well. At the times when you're not discovering sort of the story behind the two individuals, you're basically cleaning up this rust that is on the planet. And a lot of the rust has, sort of corrupted the creatures. And so you'll get into these different battles with these creatures where you have to sort of like pacify them. And when you're not traversing the different islets on the planet, you do have a lot of those dialogue segments that I mentioned while you're in the nest, which is just their spaceship. And in this ship, you can cure them, have them sleep, basically do these different things that trigger a lot of the dialogue to progress the game. At the same time, in the nest, there are also different options throughout the game where you can enhance some of the equipment so that you can keep progressing through the different islets. You can also create different things that'll heal you on your journeys and things like that. So there's a lot that you can do to sort of prep for your journey before you actually exit out into the world. So I actually do like that aspect of it where you kind of feel like you've got to prepare before you just kind of jump into things. Because it kind of gives that sort of survival aspect in a way. So that's something I think they did a pretty good job with. So while I actually really enjoyed this game a lot, one sort of problem I think I had with it is that the beginning feels really new and exciting, and everything feels, different as you're figuring out their movements, the battles, traversing the different islands of the planet. Unfortunately, I feel like you do reach a point after a few hours where the game sort of, it doesn't feel like it does enough to make things different. So, as you're progressing through the game, I would say one of the things that they do well is they do have you come across new enemies and more difficult enemies and sort of these, quote unquote boss battles with these different creatures that I think they do a good job of sort of diversifying the creatures and making those feel different. But unfortunately, the rest of it is really just going through these different planets or the islands of the planet that feel almost the same with just some minor adjustments. I don't feel like they do a ton different on each of the islands to make them feel unique. And really your goal is just to explore the entire island before traversing into the next part. And you're just clearing up the rust, pacifying the creatures, and doing the same things on every island. So I do feel like it kind of felt repetitive, after a few hours of gameplay. And one thing I'll say specifically with the Switch version is that I do feel like it's probably a little worse on the Switch just because the loading times feel very long. And just from what I've heard from other people talking about this game, it does sound like the loading times are not as long on other platforms. And one thing that I was coming across definitely more often than I would have liked is just the random software error where my game would close. Now, a positive side to this is usually it occurred while I'm loading into one of the islands, and it would load me into the island I was trying to get to, so that I wasn't ever replaying anything. But it still sucks when, it just takes you out of the experience in the game itself. So that in it of itself, it just happened too many times that I would have liked. that I just hope that they can sort of clean up in the future with some patches. But that's something, at least at this point, that was kind of a bummer for me, because I really did enjoy the game. But when you have so many of these, software errors that keep happening where you have to reload the game, while it doesn't take forever, it just sort of takes you out of the experience, which was just kind of a bummer. Now, some things that I absolutely really loved is I really like the music. I feel like it fits perfectly with just the environment that you're exploring. I really like the art style, and then I really loved the voice acting. I think the voice acting does a really good job with both you and Kay, and I really feel like the dialogue and just the way that they interact together, it really does a good job of getting accustomed to who they are and really discovering who each of them are as individuals. So I feel like they do a really, really good job in those aspects. Now, like I said in the beginning, I do think this is a game that a lot of people are really going to love, and probably a lot of people, it's just not going to be their thing. One of the reasons I don't think it'll be for everyone is I really don't think it's that difficult. They even give you an option at the beginning of the game to make it a very casual game, but the difficulty is really not there. And really the meat of this game and how I believe it was kind of designed is definitely more for the story and exploring. So if you are not really into, just exploring the planet that you're seeing in the video, or getting into like a lot of the dialogue between the two characters, it's just not going to be a game that you're going to love, and that's okay. It's just not going to be for everybody. But I do think if that is something that you're into, this is definitely a game that hits a lot of really strong points with the voice acting, the art style, the music. I think the way that they at least explain the characters, and I feel like you really get a great understanding of who the characters are, like I said before. So there's definitely a lot of those things that a lot of people are going to love and enjoy. And for me, I really liked it. I think the only reason I would not pay full price for this game at this point in time, at least, is honestly the loading times between the islands and the random software error closures. I would say it probably happened, I don't know, every 20 minutes. So I don't know if that's just my Switch, if some people are finding better success with that. My Switch is a couple years old now, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I definitely was finding that more often than I would have liked. So if you are watching this, in the future and this game is on sale, I think this game is probably worth it at the, $18 mark, somewhere around there, anything less. So if it's like 50% off, like I definitely think it's worth it at that point. Or if they do some patches where they actually fix up some of the, those errors, I think those are probably the few reasons why I wouldn't want to recommend this game to somebody, because it is a game that I really liked. And overall, I think I would give this game like a really solid 7 out of 10. And if they fix those few things, I would definitely bump it up from there. But if you end up picking up this game, definitely let me know what you think of this game down below in the comment section. And like this video if you guys enjoy my review videos. And subscribe if you guys are new here to the channel as well. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.